Okay, we are here live on Facebook. Aimee, you and I are getting to be just regulars on this, aren't we?
We are.
Feel
I
like
love
every time we
it.
turn around, we're on here again. And so
Oh,
I know, I know. So tonight, this is a little bit different than what we normally do, right? It's just me and you. I feel like we're missing half of our crew without
I
Russell
know.
and Sue and all those other people that normally have been joining us. So Russell, we miss you. Hope you're listening. And if you want to be on any of our Facebook lives, just it doesn't have to be author talk, so just let us know. But tonight, Aimee and I we've been talking about this. We're headed into 2018. It's the time of the year when everybody's planning. I've been in several planning things with my masterminds and stuff lately. Aimee, last week with Michelle, I had to put down every one of my bills and then see how many clients I had to have and more clients to cover everything comfortably. So I've done all those kind of things. We're working on all that. As we look into 2018 and we're planning our business and planning where our revenue is going to come from, where we're going to get clients, how we're going to get clients, what clients do we want to have and all that. Before we do that, I want us to look at where this whole marketing, PR, social media, and especially for me, not so much Aimee, as she's got clients in a lot of different genres and a lot of different businesses, but I'm really focusing on authors. So what does the author community look like in 2018? So that's kind of the stuff Aimee and I've been researching, and we decided, hey, let's share it. And not in a webinar, because I promised when I sent an email last week that this would be a no sales, no offer, no nothing, just a giving you information type event. So Aimee has a name for it, and Aimee, I think this should be one of our new hashtags.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, we could do that.
So what is the name? What are we calling tonight?
It's an info session.
Got it. I love that. As soon as she said it, I'm like, yes, because it's not an infomercial. If you know, infomercials are those things you watch at midnight when there's nothing else on television and somebody's selling jewelry, weight loss, something like that. One of my favorite ones used to be Set It and Forget It, because that was one of some kind of cooker rotisserie or something. Anyway, that's not what this is. This is an info session, which means we're just going to give you some great information and we want your feedback. So if you're watching now on Facebook or you join us during this, I'm going over now in case you're wondering where I'm looking. I'm going over to my Facebook page so I can get the video up and I can see who's joining us. And Darnell is already sent a note and said, he's not quite home, but he's turning in on his phone. Aimee, I can't wait for you to meet Darnell. He's absolutely a delight. And Sue's already here. So Sue heard me say, Sue, it's not the same without you and Russell. So we miss you. So we're going to talk, though, on this info session about what the media, what the business, what Forbes, what all these big name influencers, what are they predicting for 2018? But before we do that, Aimee and I decided we'd share our predictions with you. So, Aimee, what do you predict, or where do you see the world of social media going in 2018?
Well, I see like Facebook Live being completely different and kind of engulfing a lot of people in their culture. And that's going to become more popular and it's going to have more features. But I also think that YouTube is one to watch. I feel like YouTube 2018 is going to make really big comeback. It's going to be, I'm really excited about it. I think it has some great things in store, and I think it's going to move on up there in the top 3 with Instagram for sure.
So who do you see are the top 3, except for social media?
For right now or in 2018?
Yeah, right now.
Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. So far, the 3 that are popular with millennials and things like that. LinkedIn's still there, but that's more closer to number 4 for me. It's not as popular, I think.
And where does Twitter fall in for you?
Twitter's fallen down. It was in the top 3, but it's moved down to, I put YouTube above Twitter. I put Twitter probably at number 6.
And as far as the number of people that are on all of these, you probably named them just right. I still use Twitter. I still connect with Twitter. This week, as I was doing the research for this, or over the weekend, if I found somebody's article that I really did like what they had to say and like the way they said it, usually they were blog posts, but sometimes it was a Forbes article and different things, then I would go find that writer on Twitter and follow them. And I still do that. It's not as popular now, and maybe the good thing is I get a lot quicker response now than I used to. So, but I agree with you. I think you're right. Of course, Facebook right now is still in the top, although we have all of these perceptions that Facebook is going down, but they keep coming back and coming up with new stuff, don't they? That would keep them at the top.
Yeah, they do for sure. They're Facebook Live, and they're trying. I mean, Facebook owns Instagram, but right now Instagram's, I would say, more popular. Coming up with some new things to kind of compete with their other software, which is Instagram at the moment.
That's great. So my prediction for 2018, from the old school, from the more traditional world, even though I totally 100% love the digital. So I see, as far as publishers and authors, we've been going at such a fast speed of getting more books published and more books published and more books published until we've really gotten to where marketing a book is really, it's become very critical to know who your target market is. And so my prediction is this next year, not that things are going to slow down. I think they're going to keep going gung-ho. But, and we're going to see somewhat of a turn towards the traditional as far as books rather than ebooks, audiobooks, and that is going to be in one of our things. Somebody, I forget who, said audiobooks will be the thing to watch this year. So Russell, Sue, Darnell, all you people out there that are clients or have a book, look at Andrea Barbosa. You were on Monday, or this morning, actually. So all you guys need to really be looking at audiobooks, because they are predicting that that's going to be the thing of the future this year. But that's their quote unquote prediction. I just think there's going to be, like, as far as marketing, if everybody's going one way and you go the other, not totally the other, but stand out from the rest. You want to stand out from the pack. So in this world where everybody's sending email, don't you appreciate it when every now and then you get a card? Like somebody took the time to actually address a card, write a note, take it to the post office. A lot more trouble and effort, maybe not trouble, more effort than sending an email. So I know that, and I appreciate that. So I think going forward, where I much prefer Kindle, because I can take my phone with me wherever I go, and it's got my Kindle app. But every now and then it's nice to hold a book in your hand, and I'm still holding occasionally Andrea's massive black hole. She was our guest on Author Talk this morning, and I'm going to be reading that this weekend when I go to Boston for the weekend. So, and you're going actually to San Antonio this weekend, right? Because your sister's getting married.
She is. She's getting married on Friday, so I'll be going on Wednesday. But Sandy, I was going to say, isn't it more convenient for you? Like on my ride to San Antonio, I listen to an audiobook on my Bluetooth. So I feel like that's more convenient nowadays with Bluetooth like that than actually having a Kindle or anything like that, because it's more convenient for me. If I have to go on a long ride or traffic's really bad in Houston, which is like a daily thing, I can just listen to my book. It picks up right where I left off, and it's more convenient, I would say. So I could see why that's going to be a big thing in 2018. I mean, I think you should appeal to everyone and have a book and an audio book and an ebook, but I can understand why ebooks are more important. or audio books.
Does Audible have an app so you can listen from your phone?
Yeah, that's how me and Joshua do it in our car. I'm pretty sure it's called Audible.
Oh, yeah, Audible is the one that's owned by Amazon. Yeah. So, yes, okay. Because the big thing, the reason I liked the Kindle app was because it's on my phone. It's not like I have to carry a Kindle with me.
Right.
Or, and used to, the inconvenience of audiobooks was you had to carry the CDs, put them in the car or whatever. But when you can listen to it like that, I mean, there is no effort. You just go in the car, turn your phone on, and you're done.
Yeah,
so I
it's
think
fantastic.
You're right. That's a big one.
Technology is only getting better.
It's what?
Technology is only getting better, so why not just take advantage of it? It makes things convenient.
It's getting better. It's getting faster. It's moving at warp speed.
Yeah.
And we have lots to talk about in the next 50 minutes of where all of that growth is coming from and how it's going to affect you if you're a business owner, you if you're an author, all of that. And I had a call today with someone who's like, explain to me how getting more likes on my Facebook page will get me more people buying my book or buying my services. So, and that's the question that everybody has. How does that relate to growing my business? Now, Darnell, you are a perfect example, and the most recent of someone who found me on LinkedIn and called me, and he lives in Houston, but we haven't met yet. And we've already had several calls, and I've already introduced him to several people. So I'm just very excited about the fact that he found me on LinkedIn. Actually found me when your mom, Amy, who's one of our team members, when she sent him, I think, Darnell, I'm not sure for sure, but I think it was, you got a new job. Now, that might have been when you moved to Houston. I don't know. We'll have to go back and look to see. What was it you first saw? Yeah. Anyway, so Amy, before we're getting ready to go into these, and what we have 4 different categories. We have business or business owner, social media, publishing, and then marketing PR. And we're going to give you just 2 or 3 from each one of those, because we could totally overwhelm you with all the predictions and stuff from for next year. But one thing I tried to do is, in doing my research, if I found an article that says this is going to be great in 2018, and then another article said the same thing was going to be great, and that happened 3 or 4 times, I'm like, okay, pay attention to that one. But before we go any further, Amy, for those people that may not know who you are and what your company is, I want you to tell them a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I'm Amy. I work with Sandy, and I also own Abundantly Social, which does social media management, consulting, coaching, and website design. So I help people, my slogan is I help people break through on social media, whether you're already on it or you have no idea why you need to be on it. All those questions I can answer, and Abundantly Social can provide all those services. So that's me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who I am. I've been doing this for a long time. So Sandy Lawrence, my company name is Perceptive Public Relations. And my goal and our goal for 2018 is to continue to grow this community of authors that help each other, support each other, hold each other's hands, all that stuff. That's my goal, and we're starting, and we'll be making some announcements about that in January. Tonight, we are going to really keep our word. I just want to say hi to Kat Sanford. Kat's on and says she loves autographed books, but also loves to read on her iPad. It can't get Audible to work on it yet. So Carla, hi, Carla Winhall is on. Thank you for joining us. So I'll be checking periodically to see who all's there and who's commenting. So give us your predictions. What do you predict? What's going to be big in 2018? Or if you agree with what we're saying, then let us know. So now we're going to go into the first one, which is business. So if you're a business owner and you're watching, I want you to comment. We know, Kat, you're a business owner. Aimee has Abundantly Social. I have Perceptive Public Relations. Darnell has D. Wright Books. Sue has Holly Hill. So even though you're an author, you are now a business owner. Your job is to grow your business. And so some of the things we're going to talk about tonight are some predictions of things that will help you grow your business, sell more books, whatever your product or service is. A lot of my friends on Facebook are coaches. Some of your clients are coaches too, right, Aimee?
Right.
So whatever your business is, what's being predicted for? And so, Aimee, I'm going to give a couple. So be thinking about anything. And another thing, Aimee, is what I want you to do is, from the millennial standpoint, if you're like, no, you know what, I don't think that's going to happen. So
I'll tell you.
This is a discussion, okay? And I know you can handle that. You've handled it before. Nope, that's not a good idea. So it was her idea to do the info session and not a webinar. And I think that was great because we could be more relaxed. You know, if we want you on, but we don't want you to feel pressure and all this kind of stuff. So we're good. We're going to have a good time tonight. We'll end roughly around 8:00, unless we have questions keeping us, and we'll move on from there. So one of the things, so just so you know, in every one of these categories, social media plays a role. So we're going to have social media as a separate, but they're also included in publishing. They're also included in public relations, and they're also included in the business. So if you are a business owner, here's one thing you need to know. Publishing, and again, this is going to cover more than one category, but social media is now a publishing option. So if you have a business and your plan is to grow that business in 2018, you will be using social media. Now, I personally love LinkedIn. I adore it. By the way, Aimee, I went over 10,000 this week. So I'm going to be posting that and sharing it, but I'm like, oh my God, I have 10,000 connections on LinkedIn. Love it, love it, love it. So I know I'm to the point now where I'm getting like, I think I had 350 people check out my profile since the last time I checked. So I'm like, oh my God.
Fantastic.
Where are you, 350 people? So I know. So but LinkedIn has something that I absolutely love, and that's called LinkedIn Pulse, because that is their publishing option. Tell me what you think about Pulse and how that works.
I mean, LinkedIn for me it's not my ideal market for me. I'm more on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, I have a LinkedIn, but I think if you're a business person, you own an event business or a coaching business, or you're in corporate, I think it's a great thing to post, press releases and things like that and get a lot of traction and stuff on it. I don't think it's for everyone. That's not something I can't say it's everyone needs to do LinkedIn. I think only a specific audience and target market. So it just kind of depends.
And that's always true, right? You need to know where your target market is. Right. So if you have more of a professional business, then you're going to use LinkedIn a lot more than an author like Sue, an author who writes fiction. And it doesn't mean Sue should not have a LinkedIn profile. It just means her focus is going to be more on Instagram, Facebook, and at some point Pinterest and some of the others. But starting out with it.
Right. Someone like Brian Bearden, who has 52 tips for a website design to do a DIY website, LinkedIn is perfect for him. That's going to be easy for corporate to have access to him or to get his book and things like that. That's going to be his target market. So he should be publishing all kinds of articles and things like that on it. For someone that does like social media, kind of like me, that may not be as important to them, like corporate and things like that. They're going to want recruiters and stuff like that, they're not really going to want someone that's going to put them on social media. All that's going to be on different platforms. So it just depends on what your book's about, what your business is about, and who your target market is, and kind of develop if that posting and publishing articles on that is important or not to you.
But one of the things I thought of for you, just as you're saying that, it occurred to me. So I signed up with the LinkedIn Pro Finder.
Right.
And it means that if somebody can go through Pro Finder to find someone to do a job for them. Mm-hmm. It's not like looking to be an employee or looking for an employee. This is really like, your own business, you need a social media person. I can tell you that I get 3 or 4 a week, mm-hmm. and most of them are for social media help.
Really?
Social media manager, social media. Mm-hmm. Trust me, every time I submit something, I'm like, okay, I submit it with you in mind, because I don't want a job as social media manager. So, so when they send it to me, instead of just saying not interested, which you have that option, I just go ahead and submit something. I know what you do. I know how to sell you, and I just go ahead and send it. So the first one that comes in, we're going to see how that's worked. But
isn't that something you have to pay for? Like, don't you have to pay for the profile finder? Because I know that there's I don't know what it's called on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's not my ideal thing. I know all about it. It's just not my ideal. I just don't know all the names on it. I know there's one that you can pay for, and it'll do like job listings.
Yeah, that is LinkedIn Professional, yes. Right. And there are some advantages to that, but the Pro Finder is free. Okay. I don't even know how I signed up or when, but somehow I signed up for it, and I get 3 or 4 every week.
So you don't have to sign up, because Kat Sanford wants to know if you have to upgrade to sign up for Pro.
You don't have to upgrade, but you do have to sign up. So tell her. You go tell Kat.
I won't tell you, Kat.
I know. Yeah. Yes, that's a great. So get in touch with me, and if anybody else is interested in that, I will do the research and find the link, because it really is. And especially with Kat's business being the event person, that probably would be great. So we're going to leave the social media publishing. I just wanted to say one last thing, that because LinkedIn has been as successful as they have with Pulse, then now Facebook has instant articles, which I have not used that at all. I didn't even know about it till I read this article. Right. And Snapchat and Instagram are now including linking features that allow users to read articles. So it's becoming more and more. So those of you that have a business, that you're not an author or a publisher, you have another business, coach. I think Carla is a coach. I know Kat's got the her event business, and I haven't looked for a second to see who else is on. So look, if you have a business, check all this out. And I'll send, again, if anybody wants the link to this article, gladly share it with you. And then the next thing for business owners that's going to be extremely popular this year, and is going to be, and is not going to be, and is part of social media. And that's exactly what you and I are doing right now. Live stream.
Yeah.
So where all do you see live streaming going on?
Well, I kind of see it how back when you did Facebook ads, you didn't really have to pay like a whole lot of money, and now you pay to play. And I kind of see it now where it's Facebook Live videos and stuff like that are getting more traction. Kind of like posts with images get more traction than just writing. I see now that the videos are going to slowly take the pictures place, and they're going to get more traction. So it's almost going to push you to do it, which is going to push you outside your comfort zone. So you might as well just get comfortable and start doing it, because it's not going to go away. It's only going to get better, and it's only going to get more that you do.
So, yeah, I think, you know what I get from all this, especially from the live streaming and you and I doing this. So it's more relatable. It's more personal. We could be having a conference call. I remember when teleseminars were the big rage, and you
Uh-huh.
just loved it because someone's talking to you and you could all hear and ask questions,
Right.
but you couldn't see them. So
Right.
you could meet somebody in the grocery store the next day and you wouldn't even know them because you didn't see them. But now
Right.
we have all of our team meetings on Zoom, so we have them
Mhm.
virtually.
Yeah.
We have most of my client meetings are done on Zoom because Susan, Bath, Ohio, we could not meet any other way other than Zoom unless we just talked on the phone. So
Right.
lots of things going on with the live streaming. And you mentioned YouTube earlier. YouTube
Mhm.
is going to be really big when it comes to live
Right.
streaming. So
Right.
when I was uploading the author drop this morning, I could see where you could click on live streaming, and I'm like,
Mhm.
one of these days, I'm going to click on that.
Yeah, you can do it from your phone now. But I mean, I would say Facebook Live from a business standpoint for your clients, or you wanting to get new clients on any business that you do or sell more books, the more videos that you do, the more relatable you become, and the more people feel like they know you. And not that they have access to you, but they kind of get a sense of who you are as a person. And that's what I feel like Facebook Live or YouTube Live, Instagram Live, Snapchat, whatever, that's pretty much what it's doing. So from a business standpoint, if you don't take advantage of that and kind of work not emotional with clients and stuff, but if you appeal to them in that sense, where hey, look, I'm still a person, this is my life, welcome to it. This is also the advice I can give you, and I'm human. I think that makes more selling points and stuff with people than not doing it, not giving them access to who you are and kind of feel like they know you. So I mean, I think it's a game changer in business.
So for your clients that you have on social media, so social media management, everything, do you encourage them to do live streaming?
I do. I think it sets them apart. If no one else in their genre or their competitors are doing it, then yeah, I encourage anybody to do it because it's going to set you apart. And the more realistic that it is, and the more kind of, even if you mess up on it, they don't have to be professional. People aren't looking for professional videos or like perfectly edited and in like nice attire. Sometimes they just want to see you, and it's just like, oh, this is the day that I'm having, but I want you to have this advice because it's great. My kids are running around, my dogs are being crazy, whatever. People want to kind of know that it's not perfect and straight edge. They want rigid. They want realistic. They don't want non-realistic. That doesn't sell people anymore.
It doesn't.
Genuine.
And so some of the stuff I read, I think we'll get into some of it as we go, but was a lot of this whole thing about being real, being authentic.
Yeah.
And you were teaching people that in our course that we just finished,
Mm-hmm.
about the authenticity, integrity, and all of that. So even more so when you're on video, right? Wouldn't you think with your live streaming?
Yeah, I mean, people don't want fake salesy videos. They want genuine, and they want to feel like you're doing what's best for them and you have their best interest at heart. And that's what doing a Facebook Live or whatever, that's what you can convey to people. If you don't take advantage of it and you're just sending emails or whatever, you decide to do it and you're not doing any videos, then you're missing a whole market of people that you can sell to, or you can pitch to, or you can just reach. I mean, social media gets you anywhere that you can get. So if you don't take advantage of all of its features, what target market are you missing that you don't even know you have?
That's true.
Important.
That's true. So when you're planning your strategy for next year, business owners, we're going to go to the next one. When you're thinking about next year and where you want to place your focus for your business. So Kat and also Angel joined us. So hi, Angel. All of you, Sue, everyone, be thinking of Sue. She's really adapted to this whole virtual
She is. I'm so proud.
streaming anyway, because she's been on several with us already. And then we had the Facebook party where we did her her cover release. So she's really getting into it. That is, I think that is key. Now when we actually launched Sue's book, then everybody knows her. They want to get the book that she's been talking about,
right,
and then the future book. So if you're a business owner, author, publisher, social media, publicist, wherever you fall in this whole realm, be live in front of your potential clients. They want to get to know you. People buy from people they like. And also another thing I thought of when you were talking, Aimee, was somebody taught me a long time ago that everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold to.
Right.
So when you come across too salesy and all that, people are, it pushes people away. So if you want people to be attracted, then you attract them and you be real, be the person. And if they're the right client for you, if they're your target market, things click and things happen. So I'm so excited about that. So the next one we get into is your field, Aimee. So we're going to go directly to social media, even though I feel like we never left it because the other one was so much about it as well.
Ties into everything.
It does.
Social media, you're missing a key part of your business strategy if you're not on it.
Yes. So what we mentioned earlier, what I told you earlier when I was talking to someone that said, how does, because I was telling them they need to be on social media, how does somebody liking my page end up being a new client? So what do you say when somebody asks you that question?
Well, I know that there's a ton of skeptics out there about, I know if I have a bunch of likes, yeah, it makes me popular, but what if they don't convert, right? Because everybody wants converts and they want, if I run an ad to get likes, what is my ROI? Everybody wants that. I think what people don't understand and what I tell my clients is, yeah, I understand that you want to convert and you want an ROI. I can't guarantee that, but the more likes that you get on your page that are organic, the more people that are seen, which means that the more people, if you're selling a product, the more people are going to see it, or they could share it, and then their people are going to see it. So it's a whole network that gives you opportunity to go to other people's networks. So you may not convert and you may not get an ROI on however many likes that you have, but you're getting access to all those people's networks. And that's kind of priceless for me. It's not something that I can, guarantee if you have 3,000 likes, you're going to have 2,000 clients. No, it doesn't work that way. And that's what people don't understand. But the main thing is you have 3,000 likes on your page, you're getting access to those 3,000 people's network. And if they share your stuff and you appeal to them, they're going to give you referrals. They're going to share your stuff and be like, oh, this is amazing. So it's kind of like a word of mouth thing. Now, social media doesn't move fast. It doesn't. 1 month, you have it in December and in January you're booked up. It doesn't work that way. People have to trust you. And if you don't be consistent and stuff on it and grow your likes and kind of get out there and people don't trust you, then you're never going to see social media work for you. And I think that's the main issue.
That's all wonderful. I love that. Love that. And to increase, so if you're starting off and you don't have 3,000 likes and you'd like to get to 3,000 likes, then when you share a post and it follows all the criteria, it's engaging or it's educational or it's entertaining, and you follow the 80-20 rule, which Aimee taught us that, and that's 20% about you and 80% about something that your people would want to know about, some topic that they would want to know about.
Right.
So other than that, do you have any suggestions for how they would get more likes? And then we're going to get into what the predictions are for this year.
Yeah, there's many ways to do it. You can run an ad, not like a worldwide ad and get likes overseas if that's not what you want to do. But if you go to an event and you're going to be there, you can have some kind of deal. If they like your page, they get $5 off, or they get a 30-minute free session or whatever. Kind of make people want to like it because they're going to get something. People want to like a page and have an incentive. And then once you post all your content and it's good content and it relates to them, then they're going to kind of share it and you're going to build that relationship. So any event that you go to, any Facebook Lives that you do, things like that, giving people incentive is really the key in getting likes organic. I feel in shares.
That's awesome. Okay, so the number one thing for social media for 2018, and you could guess this already, is video. So video, as a matter of fact, the article I read said video, and more video. And I feel like we're moving into this at warp speed. And I can tell you there was a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I'm not sure exactly how long, but I absolutely did not like to be on video. I still hate the fact that the video will stop when your face is in some contorted shape.
It always does that for us. It always does.
I know. And I'm like, could we just not have moved like 30 seconds or something?
I know.
But you know what I've learned? Who cares?
Right.
I want people to see me, to know who I am. I want to be that authentic person that people can get and that I get them. So what are your plans, Aimee, and what would you suggest people do to get more video? We talked about live streaming on the business side. Now, just for videos themselves, what would you suggest?
Just for videos themselves? You just need to make videos. I mean, any way you want to do it, if you're going to record a video and edit it, if that's the direction you want to go, then that's fine. If you just want to pop on and do a Facebook Live. But I think multi-purposing your videos. If you do it on Facebook Live, put it on your YouTube channel. I'm telling you, YouTube's going to be big. So you might just hop on it now before it gets really big, and that way you can grow your followers and things. But any videos that you do, you always need to repurpose. And I mean, it's not bad to do professional videos, have them edited and everything like that. You just don't want all your videos to be done. But I think there's some
Facebook, on your Facebook business page, is that where you can have a video for your cover photo?
Mm-hmm. You can do it on any page. So you can do a Facebook cover video. You can also, now from your business page, you can do stories. Like Facebook has stories. You can create a story from your business page, which I would utilize. You can do a video profile picture, all kinds of things like that is what you want to take advantage of, everything like that, because all those things is free marketing for you. And that's why you need to take advantage of it. And they all have to be 30 seconds.
It is marketing, it is strategic marketing, and it is like actually finding that target. So when you're authentic and you do all the things you've been teaching us to do and all the things that we're learning to do, then you're reaching your market. And we had that example recently and we did this on an author talk actually, where we did Brian Bearden's book launch.
Right.
And we saw that this time, so he actually launched the book a year ago. So it's an older book, a year old, and we did a relaunch on Cyber Monday and all of that. Last year, I sent it out to the world. And so he had 20,000 people clicked on the link that we created in Google. He only had 60 or something, whatever, a few books purchased.
Right.
This year, we didn't do that. This year, we posted it on all the groups that we knew, the people that knew him. We sent out an email. We did a press release. We did all of the more local stuff.
Right.
And he only had 600, I think 650, click on the link, because we created a link again, all that. But he sold over 250 books.
Right.
So we hit the market. People overseas, people in other countries, were not going to buy a tip book on how to, turn their website into a sales machine. So the secret really is in doing your homework, doing your research, knowing who your market is, and then using these videos and other means that we have through social media to reach out and reach that market.
Right. It's important to do that.
Okay, so that's great. I'm glad you agree. So the next one, and you and I talked about this earlier before we got started. This was a surprise to me, this prediction. And I guess not a prediction. It's just like, this is what is seen as a trend, and it's not based on, woo, I'm going to predict this in 2018. This is based on market research. But the big thing coming up is virtual reality.
Right.
So, I don't know. Have you done any virtual reality?
My husband does with his phone. He has like one of those head things.
Yeah, mine does too.
Yeah, and he's done stuff like that. I can understand why that's going to be big, because I know that they're dabbling in it and it's becoming bigger on gaming systems and things like that. As far as for a business, I can't genuinely tell you how I can see that helping unless it's more engaging. Like if you were to create an app for your business and make it more engaging like that, or if you wanted to do like a virtual commercial or something like that, then I could understand it. I'm not real keen on it. It's not something that I think is going to be as big as you say it is. I don't think that. I think it's more big in gaming industries like that. I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's one's going to remain to be seen this year. So I would love to know what you all of you out there, what do you think? Where do you see that virtual reality could have any place in your business? Now, know this: the reason it's in the research and in the prediction is Facebook just bought a virtual reality company. Others are investing in virtual reality, other social media platforms, other groups. So, how do you see? Would that affect your business at all? If so, how? And what are your thoughts on virtual reality for next year? I'd really be curious to see what you have to say on that.
And then I could see why Facebook does it, because Facebook has games and stuff like that they host. So I could see why they would buy it in that sense. But I don't know about like as a marketing standpoint for businesses. I'm not.
Yeah, I can't guess it. The next one's a little easier to see how it helps and how it works, and that's messaging platforms.
Yes.
So isn't that becoming a biggie? I mean,
yes.
You can now share your events on Messenger and send it to, I don't know how many Facebook lets you send it to. I did not get stopped the other night. I thought I would. I sent it to quite a few, but here's what I did say in there. Because I know when people add me to something like that, and if it keeps on going and everybody messaging back and forth, it can definitely drive you crazy. So I did say this is going to be one message only, no more. You don't need to leave the group or anything, because this is it, one message. Yeah. And I did say if you would prefer not to be included in these type of invitations, let me know. Mm-hmm. And I had quite a few people that said, please don't include me.
Yeah, it's like a love-hate relationship. Some people love it. It, makes them feel important or gives them reminders and they love it. Some people really hate it. But I mean, we had talked about it on Author Talk Instagram, which everyone knows is owned by Facebook. They're coming up with their own messaging app, like Facebook has, their messaging app. So Instagram will have their own and things like that. So, I mean, it's only going to get more popular. So, I mean, I understand why people don't like it. I know it can be frustrating, but in some sense, everyone needs to kind of adapt, because it's not going to go away. It's only going to become more popular.
It is, and it's another way that you sometimes feel like the whole world knows where you are at any given time. And now I know you can turn that off. I know in any app you can turn off your location or whatever that thing is called.
Right.
But it still feels like, now to me, I have no problem with this, but I know a lot of authors have expressed they like privacy. So that is going to be a biggie in 2018. Mm-hmm. Not privacy, but
messaging.
Security.
Yeah.
So it's because they've already had some bigger companies like the Equifax or whatever that got hijacked. Or not hijacked, but what do you call it when anyway, they got their information was stolen. Their identity was stolen, which left a lot of people very vulnerable, very open. So be careful. That's another thing to be thinking about in 2018 is how can you be more careful about your own security. So I'm going to look to see if we have any questions. Okay, so Brooke Packard was on in the beginning, and she just sent me a message and said, and Brooke writes children's books. I met her. She works with Michelle Sissom. She's got a whole sleep program for kids, how to help them sleep at night, how to, because we get caught up with all these videos and all this fast-paced, energizing stuff that, for kids sometimes then it's hard to go to sleep. So she's got a whole program, and she said she can't wait till she sees the whole thing. So data breach is what Kat said. Thank you, Kat. Um, trying to keep all this and keep my mind thinking about what's next. My mind's like, okay, goodbye. So Sue did say security is very important. I thought I saw a note from Brian Bearden.
He did. He said this is great information for 2018.
Oh, good.
Great ideas. Great ideas.
Good. So remember now, so if you have your prediction or your idea what's going to be big in 2018, we want to hear from you. Yeah. And what's going to be your biggest change for 2018? Like something you're not doing now that you're going to really be big in it next year. And Angel, I know you've got a bunch of stuff going on. Valerie just joined and said great, or just commented, said great range of topics. So all of you, Kat, Valerie, Brian, and Brooke will be back. So Brooke later, Angel, all of you, Carla, what do you see for next year for you? Okay, so now back to drawing board, and the next thing that we're going to look at will be publishing. Oh my gosh, we could have done this entire hour on things for publishing. Yes. And I found so many articles and so much information. And of course, Sue, and your favorite, Joanna Penn. So some of this stuff comes from her, but from several people. There's a lot of people in the publishing world. So Aimee, give me your thoughts about 2018 and our role in the whole publishing world. Where do you see that going in 2018?
No, I'm excited to find out. I don't know. I think it's no.
So have you heard of digital fatigue? Have you ever heard that expression?
No, I heard you said earlier today. Not sure what it means.
I haven't heard it either until I was reading this article, and this was about books, and this is where it said that ebooks have been on the rise for years, and then now they're kind of predicting that 2018 is going to be a little bit more of a settling down, that ebooks won't grow as much as physical books, print books, because some people are really just tired of doing that. Everything they do is on some kind of device. Now, you've been on a device your entire life since the day you were born, probably. So,
yeah, I can see it though. I mean, I could understand doing, I know people for Lent and stuff like that, they'll give up, Facebook, or they'll give up, any social media, or they won't give up their phone in case they need to make phone calls and stuff, but they'll give up apps and things like that. I mean, I could see that. But at the same time, how can they say that there's digital fatigue, but then that audiobooks are on the rise? I don't understand. That's contradicting each other.
Yeah, I know. And I can again see, that's what I mentioned earlier. I still like to every now and then sit down and read a book. Mm-hmm. And even though I would like that, it's just, I don't know, for convenience sake maybe, or whatever, it's just easier to read on my phone or to read on my iPad. I can sit in my kitchen table, and I look into the family room and the television, and my husband's sitting there, and I can be on my iPad reading and just glance up every now and then and see what's going on television. Right. So it's convenient. It really is convenient, and I hate it that everything we do is for convenience, but it does seem to be moving in that direction. That's why I quit doing as many book signings and events of that nature a few years ago, or a couple years ago, because nobody would come out for them. I mean, people would rather sit at home and read a book on their Kindle or buy a book on Amazon than to come out to the local bookstore. So do you have any thoughts on that as a millennial? Would you go to a book signing in a bookstore?
I mean, if it was a book I was interested in, I would. if there was an incentive for me to go. Now, yes, they're going to sign my book, but are they going to give something away? If there was an incentive, I would go, right? Because I'm all about incentives. That's just what I'm all about. But I mean, I could understand, you know, ebooks and audiobooks being popular because I feel like, you know, we're more on the go now. There's more technology, more things to make everything convenient. So just to take, you know, 30 minutes to sit down and you're not doing anything, that's your time to relax. You've probably been going all day, so it's not your ideal thing to sit down with a book and read it. You know, if I could listen to it, or if I could have, you know, my ebook or something like that, but like a tangible book, I could see why those aren't as popular and things like that. I mean, I understand that.
Yeah, I do understand it. We'll see. We'll kind of keep. So one of the things I want all of you to think about is let's keep tabs on this year, and let's see. Are they, because most of the time these people that have done all this research, they have a tendency to be right. So let's see. Also, the second thing on the thing for publishing 2018, and again, this is one that probably had top 10, and I picked 3 that I thought would be appropriate for our group. And it looks like we're doing good on time. It's about 10 minutes to 8, and we've got publishing, and then the last one is marketing and PR. So in 2018, indie and hybrid publishers skyrocketing. So not such good news for, me too. Not such good news for Random House and those, although I think they're, they still have clients. Also, another thing that I just saw on the news recently was that Barnes and Noble has taken another dive as far as their revenue, and they're, meeting the industry requirements in the stock market and all that. So that's not a good sign either. So indie and hybrid publishing. Do you know the difference?
I believe so. Indie is where you publish your book yourself, and hybrid is where you have like a publishing house that does it, like halfway, something kind of like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Yes, indie can be like a small publisher, but usually on an indie publisher, you pay them a certain amount of money to publish it for you, and then you sell it, and it depends on the contract. Some of them help with the marketing, some don't. There's just a lot of different variations to that. And when we heard Channelie speak at the Indie Palooza, she kind of talked about this publisher that she used and what they did to help. Because here's the deal: a new author, Sue and I have talked about this, a new author has a lot of unknowns.
Right.
And if you keep trying this and it doesn't work, and trying something else and it doesn't work, and it can be very expensive. It can be time consuming, but even more than all that, it can drive you totally crazy.
Yeah,
because like, what do you do now? Oh my God, what do I do now? That's why there's such a rise in indie publishers and hybrid. So hybrid is a little bit different in that it's like both of you invest. So in traditional publishing, the publisher invests all the money, they pay the author. And they usually pay the author in advance, and then the author has to sell enough books to pay back the advance.
Right.
Before they ever get anything. And one of the articles I read doing this research was a guy who said, was really kind of funny, not to him probably, but reading about it. He said his first book, he had a publisher. He found a publisher. They published the book. He sold 20,000 copies. So it's not like a little, that's pretty good. Right. And he was bestseller, all of that. And at the end of 6 months, he had paid back his advance. And when he looked at his royalties, he said, honestly, I would have made more money if I worked at McDonald's for the last 6 months. Right. So, we got it that selling a book or writing a book, that's not the same rewarding wise as working at McDonald's. So we got the difference in that. So we're not in it. None of us are in it for making millions.
Right.
So we have to look at that what the priceless part of it. Still, though, to make a good business decision, you might want to look at something a little different. And that's why he had started this hybrid publishing company, the guy. So a hybrid publishing means the author pays a percentage and the publisher pays a percentage. And then the royalties are different. So we're with Random House, your royalties are probably 8% or something like that.
Right.
With a hybrid publisher, it could be as much as 30-40%. And I actually am working with Linda Sterling, happened to be on one of our in one of our classes, and I just heard from her again. I'm speaking, I think, next Monday night or sometime I'm speaking to her clients. But she has a deal where she charges a little bit more than the average hybrid, but she does all the marketing for them. She does all the PR, all the marketing, everything. So it's all in where you see the value and what would be the biggest help to you as an author. And that's why I've loved the work we've been doing with Sue and some of the others, Russell, and some of the others that we've been able to help them with more than just the publicity, but help them with decisions they have to make. So the last one is going to be marketing PR. And this is where I could really spend a lot of time again, I could spend a lot of time here. But the two things that I want to talk about are two different types of marketing that are going to be the most popular this year, according to this article. So, purpose-driven marketing. Do you understand that concept, Aimee? Because you guys, millennials, are the ones that kind of created it.
I might. I probably don't use the word purpose.
Well, I'll tell you what their definition was, and then and then you can add your thoughts to it. So, purpose-driven is marketing with a purpose, or marketing for a company that has a purpose, or marketing. So let's say that I'm marketing myself to authors, and they're investing in me. But what am I doing with my money? Am I actually investing back in them? Am I growing my business by learning more how to help them even more? That's one aspect of it. And then the other was, am I contributing to the homeless, or, something like that, or literacy? So specifically with authors contributing to literacy programs, people are wanting to invest their money in companies that offer not only the services to them, but also have a purpose. The company has a purpose. So are you familiar with that?
Not with that saying. I understand the reasoning behind it, but I think I would call that more, marketing with an intention.
You call it what?
Like marketing with an intention. Like my intention is to get authors. So when they invest in me, my intention is to invest in them. And then, literacy program and things like that. And I think if you show your intention on where their money is going to go, how much is going to go back to them and marketing them, and then how much is going to go to, let's just say, literacy or whatever. If you show them your intention with their money kind of thing, I think it's different. I mean, purpose marketing makes sense. It's more for me like your intention is.
And one of the things that one of the comments in the article, I'm looking at it now, customers are loyal to brands that have a purpose. 91%, so that's a big percentage. 91% of millennials say they would switch brands to one that has a cause.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you have that's very true. Because if you have if you work for this nonprofit and you're raising money for them, and half of whatever I give you, or 30% of what I give you, is going to go to this cause, I'm more inclined to go with you because you're giving back to the community. And for millennials, giving back to the community and giving back in general for us. And so I can understand. I mean, I would totally do that. That makes sense for me.
And the second one was influencer marketing. So what it was saying was, And I know, I saw this is true in our household as well, as how many times do we fast forward through commercials.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yes.
that's very prevalent now, right? I mean, that's what everybody does. And then we use ad blockers, all that. So how are these companies that want to sell to you, how are they going to reach you if you're zooming through the commercials? We always say zoom, zoom, because it's just like an inside joke with us. We'll be watching the commercial and I'm like, zoom, zoom. And so David goes over and zooms through the commercial. We use, so we do everything we can to keep advertising from coming into us. And
Right.
so the best way in 2018, we'll see it says marketers working with influencers. So
Okay.
somebody, it's the old referral kind of business. It's collaborating, leveraging, all the things I think that we as small businesses use anyway.
Right.
And then when you add the author community in for us, that's a really big thing. And that's the goal of this author community we're building.
Right.
So that they can refer each other. So Sue comes out with a new book. Okay, we have Russell, we have Brian, we have all of our other clients. What do? They send people to Sue's book to buy her book. Now, on a bigger scale, I mean, this has always been done, it's always been popular. But according to this article, people used to want to get, like some big company to sponsor them.
Right.
And help people buy their book. That's not going to be the way it works in 2018, according to them. It's going to be what they call a micro influencer. So somebody that knows 1,000 to 10,000 people will recommend you, and it won't be these big companies hiring you or supporting you or sponsoring you or anything like that. So I thought that was a very interesting look at it. So what are your thoughts on that from a millennial perspective?
I think that, yeah, I mean, I could see that being a trend in 2018. I mean, just because, I mean, a speaker has a big corporate, if I've never heard of the corporate thing, it doesn't do anything for me. But if I've heard, and just an example, like a YouTube sensation that has, I don't know, 100,000 likes or whatever, but if they're famous on that, they're going to bring in more younger people to those speakers and stuff like that, which in return is going to kind of boost whatever their sales or whatever they're trying to do in the younger generation. So I could see how that's going to benefit. Yeah, they're no longer targeting, not people with a lot of money, like big people, but I can see how they're targeting younger kids and trying to get them involved in the community and kind of giving back in that way. So, I mean, I could see that. I think that's a great trend.
Yeah, me too.
I hope that happens.
And you'll find this interesting. This article said micro influencers. So remember, that's 1,000 to 10,000 followers or connections or whatever,
right,
are 4 times more likely to get a comment on a post than
right,
macro influencers. You know what I thought of when I read that was how many people on Twitter, when you go and look at and you follow somebody that has, like 1.5 million or something like that,
right,
and you look to see how many people they're following, it's like 300. So these macro influencers are not going to be following everybody that follows them, even though they probably have a full social media staff. They're not going to follow those of us that have, 8,000. I have 8,000 Twitter followers. They're not going to follow me. But somebody that has 10,000 will follow me back because they're they're a smaller influencer. And
right.
so that's what I look for is I've always done that with Twitter. I just never saw that. And according to this article, that's going to be the most prevalent way of marketing for 2018. And real quick, for PR, that was kind of marketing. The PR portion of this is it's going to be social PR. So, and we've already adapted that. I mean, we already send our press releases to social media. We do Pulse. I'm going to go look up the one for Facebook and do that. So we've always done that. We send it to local calendars, Bubble Live, all the local things. So I'm excited to see that the world of PR is going to be just following along with everybody else. And I've told my clients plenty of times, it's not like, I mean, we send a press release, yes. If somebody calls and said, oh, can I please interview Sue Hawley? Of course, we're going to be ecstatic. But if that press release has hundreds of people to see it and go buy her book or go follow her on Facebook or any of those scenarios, then yes, that's what we want too. So the chances are that's what's going to happen when you send out a press release. The search engine optimization kicks in, keywords, aka hashtags kicks in, and people go and follow you. So anyway, that's kind of like a summary or sums up what we were talking about. And my mind's going in more than one direction here, so slow down. Okay, so that sums up the research part of it in the time that we had, because again, I could go into a lot more. And Aimee, I want you to just kind of sum it up for you. What is your thoughts on all this? And I'm gonna go check Facebook while you do that.
But social media is only going to play a bigger role in your business and how you market your business. So, I always say you might as well jump on the train while it's still moving, because it's only going to start moving faster. So, don't be afraid to jump on and try new things with social media. It's not, what's the worst that's going to happen? It didn't work. Okay, we'll try something else. Facebook's forgiving enough. So, better to try than to not try at all. So, if anything, social media was in all of these 2008 trends. So it's pretty much the summary of what 2018 is about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Kat, thanks. Kat, I just saw Kat's been posting here, and she said, I'm a promoter. Sign me up to be an influencer. So, yes, we will. We will sign you up. And then she gave us the example of Tom's shoes. And I know that story. I don't know if I know it well enough to tell it right this minute, but I know they have some kind of thing where if you buy a shoe, they give one to somebody that's homeless. I believe that's some part of the story, I think. If that's not right, Kat, I apologize, and you can share it or give us a link to it or something. That'd be great. And then, yes, what she's saying about the being socially conscious is she's like, corporate social responsibility, and,
right.
and aren't we glad that that's important today? So it hasn't always been that important. I mean, it's been like a who can step on who to get ahead in the whole ladder of success. And right. I'm glad if we're going to be more responsible right. for responsible for our actions, responsible for our influence. So I'm good with all of that. So Aimee, any last word before we call it a night?
No, I enjoyed it. I think it was fun. I hope all those things in 2018 happen. So thanks for having me on.
So we're going to do this every now and then. Just come on and just chat and have people ask questions. So thank you all for joining us. If you want the links, let me know. I'll post them somewhere. I think I'll put them together and post them. Also, I just wanted to say a very, 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 very Merry Christmas to everyone. And if it's not Christmas you celebrate, if it's a Jewish holiday for Christmas, which I'm not going to even say it because I might say the wrong one. But if it's that, if it's whatever you celebrate for this time of year, we wish you all the best. I'm so glad it's a giving time of year. It's time when people want to give. So be generous, be giving in spirit, and our thoughts will be with all of you. And we will be in touch with you about the next thing we're doing. So stay tuned. And thank you, Aimee. You did wonderful. And thank you all for joining us.